Techies and scientists, welcome back to the channel. We had another blockbuster week with PPI today at 8:30 a.m. Um, so there were not a lot of price action, but we did see something that popped in at around 8:30 a.m. Nothing too big there. So we had price make a lower low, and then right at around 10 a.m. make the lowest low, and then I'll talk about that toward the end of this podcast here, and then you're gonna have to stay tuned and find out. The question is the bull market over? You're gonna have to stay tuned until the end of this video to find out as well. Okay, but I do have some evidence that we might squeeze one more juice out of that lemon. I mean, what did Warren Buffett said? Warren Buffett said that be fearful when everybody's greedy, be greedy when everybody is fearful. But now, if we are currently looking at the fear and greed index, everybody's fearful right now. But guess what? The market is at the lowest since in a while. At least it's been going sideways. So right now may be a good opportunity for taking advantage of a nice price bump. I'm not saying price is going to shoot up high, but it might be a nice price bump. Now, right, so now let's take a look at what happened here. We did have the PPI 830. Nothing to report here. I mean, we mostly had government delays throughout this week and a whole lot of Fed talk. They're probably saying a whole lot of nothing. Let's take a look at seasonal tendencies here. So it may seem like thing is going back to following the normal course of seasonal tendency, but I would not buy it. I will not buy it for one bit. So I will just be careful with that. Well, seasonal tendency has been on the contrarian at this point, so I would be very careful with that as well. So this week we had Nvidia, right? On Wednesday we reported Nvidia. There has been a couple good price action with Nvidia. Looks like we had a good market bump later in that afternoon, and then price when price opened the next day, it kind of like shoot all the way down in a very disappointing manner. So that's what happened here. So I will show you like when we had the Nvidia on the was I think it was on the 25th if I get this correctly. So yep, I believe it was Wednesday 25th we had the Nvidia. So we had a lot of price shoot up, and just like I explained in our weekly review last week, I did mention that there were three possible scenarios. Prices they're gonna go sideways. The first case scenario was when prices going up, clear out this level and go down lower. I didn't know it was gonna do it over a day or two. I thought it would progressively get there. But at the end of the day, it looks like price went sideways for a little bit and then shoot up during the Nvidia news, at least around that time. And then when the market opened on Thursday, at the end it plunged all the way down. And then after it plunged down, so we had the PPI here on Friday, and at 8:30 a.m. And then when the market opened, it made that low. So I want you to take a look at this particular area right here and where I put my fib. And then this is where the big prognostication is gonna come for next week. And this is why I say you can squeeze one more juice out of that lemon. So usually when you have a consolidation like this, especially over several days, if you take a fib, okay, and then you include the highs and lows, okay, and let me take that out. And you take the highs and the lows from this low, lowest low here, to this high, the highest high here, and then you have the 50% right at the middle. So on Friday at right around 9:45 a.m. and let me make sure I can pull that graph for you, which is why I had this one. Yes, right on the tick, right at around 9:44 a.m. A price make a low at 24,782 around that area, and it's still riling up rapidly since then. So to me, this is a very reactionary area, especially when a price come out of the consolidation and then we turn into the halfway of that consolidation area, and then you have this very quick reaction at around 9:44 on Friday, and also you have price closing up right into that gap here, onto that daily gap, like it really sandwich in that daily gap. right here between what on the February 11 and February 13. So we have that gap here, and the closing is right inside that gap. So to me, that signal to me because of this nice reaction that next week we may get some price action to go a little bit higher. May not be significantly higher, but like I said, we may squeeze one more juice of that lemon before it goes sideways or returning lower. And another reason is this: you see this high here, this high at 25,363. When it cleared out, it did not clear it out with a wick. You still have the weekly bodies here. So that to me also tell me that there's an opportunity price may revisit that area again. And also, one more piece of evidence that price is kind of bullish, at least for this particular scenario here temporarily, is that when price made that low, it did not clear out. It did not clear out this low here. Okay, on the bodies. So it leave those bodies intact. He had a very nice, quick, sudden reaction at the 50% of this range here of this consolidation, and then it closed with inside that gap here on this daily gap. Because last week, or at least into this week, I was gauging that gap here to see whether price is going to come out of it or not. I mean, it did come out of it. I did not expect that it was going to get back into it, but eventually it kind of closed inside that gap here, that daily gap. And because of that nice reaction, it's telling me that the market might be bullish. Okay, at least squeeze one more juice of that lemon. But what do we have going on next week? Also next week we have on Friday we have non-farm payroll at 8:30, and what else? We have ISM on Wednesday, and then obviously you have unemployment claim on Thursday at 8:30. But because of the government delay, probably does not matter as much. Yeah, I think that's about it. So that's the main thing. Non-farm payroll Friday. I would be very careful with that. Try not to over leverage. I mean, the government data is delayed, so it may be a nothing burger, but still, I don't want 8:30. Be careful. Watch out. Um, but yeah, so that is my prognostication for that. Again, this is an area of opportunity for you to be a little bit greedy while everybody is fearful, while the fear index is on the fear right now. This might be a good opportunity for you to probably take a couple trade on the Nasdaq and try to see if you can ride this one higher here one more time. With that being said, happy trading, and see you guys next week on the live stream.